so let's talk about where we got started. So you just got your makeup, you got your box, you open it up, you're excited, but it feels a little overwhelming, hard to know where to start. So let's go through step by step. So first off, you're gonna get your new compact. So all you're gonna do with your new compacts, I'll use this one here, sorry, a little glare, is open it up. So you take off the cover, easy, and you're gonna put your tins in to the compact. Now, the compact, this one is a triple layer one. I usually organize mine so I have my kind of my main colors, my go-to highlight contour on top. Sometimes I use a few different colors. And then I'm gonna keep any of my powders separate on their own line at the bottom. The only reason I'm really clumsy and I drop things all the time, and when you drop them, sometimes they can break. This one just broke and I fixed it. And you don't want the powder getting mixed in with the cream, basically. When you drop creams, they don't break. That's so awesome. This one I just dropped. All of these are fine. I have all my creams here. So I just like to have them divvied up, separated that way. So when you get your tins, I have a couple tins here I'll put in for you. You just slide the lid off, but just watch that your fingers don't get here. Now, I keep these. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna do with them, but you can use the lid to help get the tin out if you ever need it again. If you ever wanna know what the name is, it's on the back. I don't know if you can see, that's not showing up very well. If you can see right on the back, right up here, it's gonna say the name. This is Astoria. There we go. Sorry, my light's a bit aggressive. So that way, if you have multiple colors, if you only have one contour color, you're not gonna forget so much, you can put it right up in there, okay? So you can take this tin, I'll show you when I have a couple in. Here's one of my my brightening highlight. Right now I'm using Sunlight. I know it looks so scary and yellow, but it's really beautiful. You'll see when I do my makeup. Slide that in. Now, if I didn't have this row, this is my shadow. This is my contour color that I use on my nose. You can use whatever contour color you have. I just use a dark contour color, so I like this one for my nose. So when they fit in, they fit pretty tight. So if you had all of them in there and you want to get the tin out, you can use this. So you can just kind of sneak it between and then pop up like so. And then that way you can see what it is or change it out. Okay, so that's how you set up your compact. Now, when you open up, I don't have a shipping label with me, but when you open it up inside, it'll often have like everything that's included. You can actually, it's sticky. You can actually cut out the name of the product that you have and you can stick it right kind of on here so that you know if you're getting confused about your colors. Just a little hack that you can do. So you've got your contour or your compact set up. So now all we need to do is get started. So let's talk about a few of the tools first. Your Stay Spray or any other spray that you have, setting spray that you have, you can use as a primer. So the only key with the cream is that you don't want to use a silicone-based primer. The other thing to think about, I have the Milk cream. I love this cream. It's an amazing night cream if you're in the market for a new night cream. It's super moisturizing. If you use it as a day cream, give yourself at least 10-15 minutes before you're putting your makeup on. I'll use this in the morning if I know I'm not going to put my makeup on for an hour or so, but if I'm getting ready to go to work, I just spray my Stay Spray on my face, my setting spray, and then I put my makeup on, only because there's silicone in this, so you want to give it some time. But this is an amazing night cream if you're looking for a night cream. And then the other thing you want is your, and I don't have that ready, here it is hiding on me, is your perfector sponge. Now, how you use this perfector sponge. You want to see the size of it here. What you're gonna do is run it under water and just kind of squeeze it out as you're running it underwater. You can't really see this, but that's what I'm doing. And then you're gonna see that it really expands. The Seint Perfector sponge is so much softer than any of the other beauty blenders, so it's gonna get way bigger. And then what you're gonna do is, oh, and then my towel's missing, sorry, is just squeeze it off in a towel. So you're gonna squeeze it off in the towel, get a lot of that water out. I usually have my microfiber cloth here, and I forgot I just did laundry. Okay, and so that it's just damp but not wet. So if you're gonna use your sponge, make sure before you put your makeup on, you've done this so it's ready to go, okay? So now you can see it's way bigger than it was before. So I keep my tins. I'm obviously like a hoarder because I'll just kind of rest it on there while I'm doing my makeup so it has a spot to hold on to. And then I just have a place for it. Okay, so that's most of the tools that you're gonna be using. We're gonna talk about a couple of the brushes and then we'll get started doing the makeup. This is the #1 brush I recommend to everybody. If you are going to get a brush, which I really find changes the application of the makeup. When I first got this makeup, it was, you know, middle of COVID, stock issues, they had no brushes in. So I got the makeup, tried my own brushes, bought this when it came out, and I noticed a huge difference. If you don't want to have any brushes, I definitely recommend then getting the perfector sponge. You can do the cheetah hack where you're actually just painting on with your face, with your finger, and then blending out with that blender. Feel free to try your own brushes, but if you find that your application isn't how you expected, the brush can be the key. This one is great. You can do your whole face with it. I obviously have all the brushes, and so I have a few favorites for different parts, but you can do your whole face with this brush, squeezing to do your contour. So if you're only gonna get one brush, get this brush. This brush also comes in a bundle with the bronzer, and so it's only a few dollars extra to actually get the bronzer, so that's a great deal. I think you save like $15 on it. So it's an awesome deal. And our bronzer, the Bella bronzer, is a cream bronzer, and the came in as a limited edition. We still have it. It is a powder bronzer. I suggest the Bella. It's beautiful. So this is the go-to blend, blush blend brush. Sorry, we changed all our names and now I get confused. But this is the best one. If you're gonna get one, go with this. So I'm gonna do most of my application with this, bringing in a few of my favorites, but I'll just talk briefly about the other ones. So other than that brush, if you really want a more full coverage, I suggest the Buffy brush. So the Buffy brush has two ends. I use this end as my go-to to put my under eye, my brightening highlight on, and then I use this one if I want more of a full coverage. And if you're ever worried that you have too much on, if you use the perfector on it after, it pulls off any excess. The other key is when you dip into you're just dipping, you're not pulling through your product. When you dip into it, you should still be able to see through to the bristles. If you can't, then you have too much product. I'll talk about that when we're applying as well though. So I either recommend one of these two for sure, but this one's usually my go-to. And then the other two that I suggest people having is the 3D. So this one, it can also do your whole face because it's got the kind of like the same and slightly different angle as the blush bronzer brush. It's a mouthful to say, but this end is great for dipping in, putting the product on, and this smaller end here is great for doing under eye. So this is the 3D brush. The fluffy end here is really nice for blending, so this is kind of where that one has kind of an extra component to it. So that's the 3D, great to put both the contour on with this smaller end, sorry I forgot to say that, the contour with the smaller end, and under eye with the smaller end, and then you can use the more of the circular end to apply your main highlight. The other one of my favorite brushes is the Detail. So the Detail is much more of a contouring brush. This is probably my go-to. I also like putting blush on with it as well, just along the lines here. And then the small end you can use to put nose contouring on, as well as doing lip application. So usually out of these 4, I suggest people get 2, and then you can kind of play around with what you have. Kind of these 3 are usually my go-to for people, so at least having one of those is key. And then I'll just briefly touch on a couple of the other brushes before we get into application. And I'm going to do the video separately so that you can go through and look at each different level of application if you need to refer back to one part, so it's easier for you. So this is the blend brush. It's quite nice for a lighter coverage, and as you're putting on your contour, it blends out for you. And this smaller end is great for the nose, again, doing some under eye. You can even do a little bit of eyebrow and lip with this brush. So it's for a much lighter coverage. And then the powder brush, kind of made specifically to put your setting powder on, using this end to dip in, kind of apply along, and then you can leave it for a little bit and brush off with this end. But I've done my whole face with this brush as well, because you can use this end for applying and that end for your blending. Each one of these brushes I've done my whole face with, just some are a little bit easier than others. So don't feel like you have to have them all. And then we have 3 smaller, more specific to eyebrow, eyelid, and lip. So, oh, and I'm missing one. Where is my, yeah, there she is, 4. So this one I would say is one of my favorites, the line brush. It's got the spoolie on the end. This is great for doing some eyebrows, and it's got this end here. If you can kind of see the angle on that, which is great for lining here, lining the lips. Lining your lips with contour can really bring out the fullness of your lips. So that's the line brush. I love that and use it often. And then we've got the blend tap brush. So this one is quite nice. You can use it on your eyelids, as well as this is what I use normally to put my nose contour on. I just have a bit of a smaller nose, so this one's nice. As well as lining the lips, you can use this to put on your lips as well. Same with this other end. So this is quite nice. Blend and tap. And then we've got the eyeshadow everything brush. And this one, primarily eyeshadow brush, double ends of that. So I usually use kind of these 3 on my eyes, and then the spot brush here that you can do smaller details with. So again, you can use it nicely to line the lips, and then using this on the lips or using this on the eyebrows. Definitely don't need them all, but they are fun. If you're gonna get one of the eye ones, I definitely suggest this if you're gonna be doing your eyebrows. Okay, that's all the tools. So let's get on to the makeup.